Hello there, this is John Barton from JB Cases. I'm continuing my experiment from the other day where my question was do you have to aim differently based on the speed of the shot? Some people contend that yes, you have to aim differently based on the speed because they say that collision-induced throw or cut-induced throw will make the ball go a different direction based on how hard you hit it. I do agree that that's true, but I don't agree that it really matters as much as people think it does. So the other day I did an experiment where I did a spot shot because somebody on the AZ Billiards forum said that a spot shot was the shot that you would really see the throw. The experiment that I did was inconclusive because I feel like that I had trouble sending the cue ball exactly where I was aiming it towards or where I thought I was aiming. I marked out all the lines and everything, so I had a dead ghost ball shot. I could set my cue down right on that line, but when I shot the shot, sometimes I felt very pure and the ball would go at any speed, and sometimes I felt like that I was off. So my conclusion is, or was, my conclusion was that it's hard to stroke the cue ball properly and send it where you're aiming. That's more of the reason for the misses than the speed of the shot or aiming wrong. Okay, my contention is, just to put this simply, you can aim perfectly right. Okay, you can have the dead perfect line and you can choose to shoot that shot at any speed and make it as long as you hit the cue ball purely down that line. My contention is that for most shots on the table, you do not have to aim differently based on how hard you are going to hit the ball. Okay, now this of course can vary with conditions. You know, if you have old dirty clingy balls, you have dirty cloth, humid conditions, or waxed balls, you know, they're gonna cling a little bit differently. So yeah, you might have to adjust a little bit there, but that's where you need to set your baseline of aiming with the dead ghost ball shot, or you know, I use CTE for example. So I get down on the shot and I aim with CTE. I don't adjust and I hit the ball and I see what it does. I hit it a little harder, I hit it a little softer, and I figure it out. If it turns out that, you know, I'm going to have to start aiming a little fuller or a little thinner based on the conditions, then I'll know that. But in general, you don't have to. So with that in mind, I've set up an experiment that takes the human out of the equation. So the only thing that I'm going to be doing is hitting the ball, but where the ball goes, the track of the ball of what's going to be the cue ball, has nothing to do with me because I've set up a guide to make sure that it tracks dead perfect every time. Okay, so now we're going to see if the speed makes a difference or not. Okay, so let's take a look and I'll explain what I did. So here I have set up, what I've done here is I've set up a track guide right through the piece of wood here. I have a piece of wood and I have a heavy set of balls on the other side with more weight on top of it. I've set that up with 4 balls. This is the ball that we're trying to make right here. That's set perfectly in the ghost ball position, which is exactly where the lines cross right here, which you may or not be able to see, but these lines cross exactly at the ghost ball position. So when this ball comes through the track, it's going to hit exactly at the ghost ball position. There's only one aim on here. There's no thicker, there's no thinner. There's only the ghost ball. This track right here tracks dead center pocket. So it goes straight into the center of the pocket. So let's take a look and see what happens. And I'm going to hit this shot softly, I'm going to hit it hard, I'm going to hit it medium. And if the conventional wisdom is correct, then hitting it at different speeds should make this ball miss. Okay, there should be some misses, or it should be very clearly off to one side or the other with speed. Let's take a look. Okay, now as I've said, I've got 4 balls here using the cue ball. If everything is set correctly, okay, my ghost ball position is right. I cannot be influenced by any illusion here because the 13 is going to act as the cue ball. Let's see what happens. We'll start out with hard. Now the thing is here is the placement correct? With my little setup here, I'm never sure if I'm actually moving these parts or not. So the real setup, you would need to have absolutely unmoving parts. You would have to have something here that you absolutely cannot move, even a hair. Make sure that's set up on the ghost ball, okay? Okay, there's one. We'll let the cue ball track that way and you can see what happens, where it goes. So that'll tell you how far the cue ball rolls. Okay, let's hit this one hard again. Make sure we're on the ghost ball. Okay, let's do it again. You can tell by where the other ball goes up here. You can't really see it up table, but it's up in the corner here, these balls. So I'm gonna hit one more real hard. Okay, that one was so hard it popped the second ball out. All right, now let's go to medium. Okay, now we're gonna hit this medium speed. Okay, do it again with medium speed. That was probably a little bit harder. Let's go a little bit softer. Now it's real important here to make sure that this is sitting in the ghost ball position, okay? One more medium. I'm going to go a little bit softer because I feel like I'm still hitting it a little hard. Okay. Running out of balls here. Okay, let's try this one again. Medium speed. Make sure we're sitting in the ghost ball position. Medium speed again. Okay, now let's go real soft. See what happens. Okay, let's go even softer than that. How that tracks straight, it tracks straight to the center of the pocket. Let's see how soft I can hit it. Let's see if I can make it not even go in the pocket, just barely hit it. Now, if you can see this ball, if you can see it right there, it's dead center pocket. It did not go in, but it's tracking dead center pocket. Okay, now I hit that as soft as I could. I'm going to try it again. Soft. there you go, folks. I mean, if you want to do this experiment yourself, just make your own setup. I would suggest you try to make it a little bit more exact than mine. Mine was done real quick here, but essentially you get the right idea. You know, if you've got a pure stroke and you can send that ball exactly where you want it, you don't need to worry about contact-induced throw. You know, I mean, you just don't. I believe that I can set this up, the same setup here. I believe I can set that up for any shot on the table and prove exactly the same thing. You know, that contact-induced throw does not mean as much as people make it out to. So, why don't you try it? Try working on your stroke. Aim where you know. Set up a known line. Chalk. Use some chalk. This is Taylor's chalk here. Use some chalk and a ruler, and you can mark out a known line, and you can check the purity of your stroke. I did a video on this a while back as well, but you can check the purity of your stroke just by chalking out a known line and setting up a shot and then seeing how you do. So anyway, it's a little uncomfortable for me to sit there like that. That's basically what I would suggest. That's what I would suggest that you do, because you can listen to people tell you that contact-induced throw is this big thing, and that you have to adjust your aim every time you shoot a ball. If you're gonna hit it hard, you have to adjust your aim. If you're gonna hit it soft, you have to adjust your aim. Frankly, I don't believe that that's true. Okay, I hope that I've adequately showed it here. I'm sure that some people are going to argue with this, and to that I would say, hey, set up a similar experiment with the track and show me. You know, figure out a better track and show me. But, you know, in my mind right now, the way I'm looking at it is, I aim the same way every time, regardless of whether I'm going to hit it super hard or I'm going to hit it really soft. Okay? Now, the times that I do adjust is when I absolutely know that I must adjust. And the only reason that I absolutely know that I must adjust my aim is if I know that the table conditions or the ball conditions are doing something odd. You know, if it's just really wet or it's really clingy and I notice that my normal aim is not getting it done, that's when I know I have to adjust. But I have to adjust all the shots then, not just one or two shots. I have to figure out the right speed for the table for those shots. That's when I adjust. You know, that's what getting on a table and warming up and figuring the table out means. But for the most part, you don't have to adjust your aim. Get down on the ball, aim it so that you know it's going in the heart of the pocket. Or if you use another, you know, C.J. Wiley, for example, has been talking about aiming to a third of the pocket so that you can make the pocket a little wider. That physically doesn't, you know, it doesn't physically change the pocket size. What it does is it increases your margin of error to one side or the other, rather than going straight down the center, where you have the exact same margin of error on both sides of the line that you chose, which means that basically any stroke error is going to magnify to the side that you made the error on. Well, C.J. Wiley has a technique that's pretty good, where you aim to a portion of the pocket rather than dead center pocket. And by aiming at a portion of the pocket, you give yourself a better chance. Even if you make an error, you're more likely to make an error toward the bigger part of the pocket, which just basically doubles your margin of error. Okay? Whereas if you're aiming dead center pocket, you're likely to make an error on either side. And if you tend to favor erring on one side or the other, then you've only got half a pocket to deal with. Whereas if you do it CJ's way, then you've effectively got 2/3 of a pocket to deal with on the side that you normally err on. Okay, so that's another way to look at shooting the shots, but it has nothing to do with adjusting your aim based on speed. Okay, which is the contention. The contention is, if you're going to hit the ball hard, you have to aim at a different place. If you're going to hit it medium, you have to aim at another place. If you're going to hit it soft, you have to aim at another place. Okay, now those three places might be, you know, if you look at the ball here, you know, if your dead center aim is right here, then according to these other people, your hard aim might be here, your soft aim might be here, you know, and you have to figure that out based on your judgment. Okay, so, you know, not to be crass, I think that's a little bit of BS because I think you can always aim here, and if your stroke is pure, okay, if your stroke is pure, you can hit it softly, you can hit it hard, you can hit it medium, it's all going in the pocket. Okay, it's going dead in the heart of the pocket. So, that's it right there. So thanks a lot. You guys take care. Bye-bye.